Hey, divine feminine goddesses all around the world. I am Yasha Na, and I just wanted to make another video. Um, I don't know. I just been like having conversations with other um, females about celibacy and why um, many women ultimately take the path of celibacy. And when I was younger, I would have never thought in like a million years that I would be celibate. But as I've grown older and wiser, it has just dawned on me that sex is sacred. And whether we want to believe it or not, to justify, our sexual preferences and, all of that, um, I just came to realize that sex is very dangerous if the intention behind it is just full of um, immorality and just for selfish reason. And that's why I personally choose to be celibate. I've just gone through a lot of things in my personal life, then I feel like sex complicates not only like your romantic relationships, but it also affects like your overall being, like your overall self being. You know what I mean? Like, sex is literally like validation for everyone, whether it's like validation for love, validation for, attractiveness, validation for like how many men you can get, how many females a guy can get. So sex just, I feel like clouds like judgment a lot. And it can be very dangerous if there is no self-control involved in that. So personally for me, I want to share with you guys my personal reason for choosing to be celibate. So, I'm the type of female, you know what I mean? I personally enjoy being by myself. Like, I can be by myself um, with no problem. So, with that being said, I'm not the type of female that has to be up under a guy. More importantly, to feel good about myself. So, I guess you can pretty much say that for the majority of my life, of course, I've always had like um, self confidence. Not saying that you don't have self confidence, or because everyone's confidence levels are different. Everyone perceives confidence in a different way. But personally, for me, sex was pretty much clouding my self judgment. I feel like when you give yourself to someone, you should give yourself to a person who is down to be equal as far as like the give and take. There are so many men out there that just want to take, 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 and that's all that men usually do is take, because of course being divine feminine, being feminine, period. The female, we're just we are designed to be able to be givers. Pretty much, we're givers. We're giving men the blessing of having our spirit and souls, and women don't realize that we're giving our energy to these men, and it's pretty much like feeding their egos, feeding them spiritually, feeding it's filling them up. It's just, think of it like, I don't know, a battery or something. You know what I'm saying? Just, he's charged. Sex charges men. And at the same time, I feel like if men aren't reciprocating that energy, so there can be like a stable balance between a man and a female, then the female is just going to leave the situation usually empty handed. Thus, females, hardly ever even receiving an orgasm. You know what I mean? Like, men get orgasms every time, unless they're like dysfunctional or whatever. But how many females do you know have experienced true orgasms? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to make it seem like guys are like dogs or just like scums of the planet, but as women, we have to be careful. You have to be careful about who you give your energy to. And if you are as enlightened as I am, and I'm guessing you are because you are tuned in right now, you know that you have to feel some type of way every time you give yourself to a man and you're not seeing anything grow, any growth from it. If you're just continuing to give yourself to a guy and you have to wonder why he isn't calling you back or calling you period or wanting to take you out on nice dates and things like that, you you have to realize that he got what he wanted. And you also have soul ties with this guy, so it's going to be very difficult if you've caught feelings. Even if you didn't catch, feelings, you still have soul ties with this person, and things that are latched onto him, that's all I'm going to say. Things that are latched onto him, whether it's curses or negative demons, energies, anything like that, anything that is attached to a guy can definitely transmit it in energy wise to, you know a woman. So, just like you have to be very careful about who you surround yourself around, you have to be even more careful of who you decide to lay down with. For me, I'm just at the point in my life where I um I know what I want in my life. I know who I want, and even if I don't end up with the person that I want, I know that I'm in the place in life now where my frequencies will attract only males with the same frequencies as me. And so if I come across that person that I truly feel like a spiritual connection with, like we vibe on a level like unknown, and it's been a good amount of time, and if we even get to that point, like if we completely understand where each other's go fit, and it also depends on his views as well, because he could be celibate as well. Females aren't the only creatures on the planet that are celibate. Okay, remember that. It's okay for guys to be celibate as well. I applaud men actually for being celibate. That's a really fucking hard thing for a man to do. That's, if a man is celibate and he has complete self-control over his hormones, like that's a keeper right there. So if you run into a guy like that, I mean, just make sure he's not like gay or anything, because you want to make sure. Just a side note, because there are DL guys out there that just aren't playing on the same team. But anyway, off with that negative junk. When you meet a guy who can reciprocate the same spiritual energy as you, energy period, and you just know when it feels right. Like, the problem with females, I feel like most of the time, is that we like to live in denial. Denial, denial, denial. We'd like to believe that the guy that we're dating who isn't calling us back really might be asleep, or he really might just be working late. When in all actuality, we all know that guys, when a guy is into you, he's into you, and he is going to contact you all all day, every day, okay? You make time for who you want. You make time for what you want. So remember that. And if you will deeply know if someone is right for you, you will deeply know if the energies are aligned. If y'all are aligned, you will know. So I'm not staying celibate until marriage. I don't believe, I mean, I respect it nonetheless for whomever decides to wait till marriage to have sex. Like, I totally respect it. But I don't want to put myself in that box. I don't want to, commit to something um, that intense because at the end of the day, we are humans and I don't want to fall back and then hate myself later. So I'm just going to say that I am celibate until I completely and truly feel within my divine divinity that it is time for me to explore that. I'm good where I am right now. And I feel like me being good without sex right now has helped me in so many ways. Like, I've been able to like breathe clear, like think clearly, breathe a little fresh air, you know what I'm saying? Like, have my own space, not have my mind clouded or worry about what he's doing every 2 seconds of the day. There's just like that soul tie has simmered down a bit. And although I do still think about the last person I've been with, it's it's not hard for me. And the longer that it goes on, the easier it gets for me to just be like, I'm good. Like, who are you guys? And you know what I'm saying? It's also great to be celibate, I feel like, because it also weeds out all the assholes, don't you think? Like, if you're at a party and this guy's like, oh, you're beautiful, I want to take you out, girl, come on, come through, give me your number. You know what I'm saying? Just like trying to have that exchange with you. When you're in like midst of conversation with a guy and you can feel, because we're all empaths at the end of the day, I know that everyone who's watching this is an empath in some form or another. You'll know a guy's intentions when you first talk. Okay, just being an empath, just being a divine feminine, you're gonna know a man's true intentions intuitively. And so, personally, for me, the deal break that's a guy's deal breaker. If a guy is not going to give a damn about how fine you are, if you're celibate, if you're not giving up the goods, he's either going to be like, all right, girl, deuces, or he's going to like fucking try you. And usually, honestly, the jerks, the true jerks, it doesn't take long to like for them to like disintegrate when they realize like, oh damn, we don't really have much in common, we don't really have much conversation. Because you have to remember, when you first meet a guy or you first meet a female, um what do you base it off? You base it off attractiveness, correct? You base it off of that Venus, the Venus signs connect with each other, his Venus sign and our Venus signs, yeah. And Venus sign in a relationship only stays around for so long. Most people, where most people fuck up is that they're attracted to each other and they're so quick to just lay down with each other before even really getting to know each other. They have sex and shit gets boring, and then it's just like, damn, I thought we had more in common than just this. But no, it's best to wait. It's the best to wait. You at least have to see what someone has to offer you. And this goes for both male and female. Never rush into sex. Yeah, someone is attractive. Yeah, it might be hard, especially if you guys like making out and stuff. But just respect yourself. Love yourself enough to not waste a body. Love yourself enough to not want even those attachments that you don't even know if the person has affecting you. Demons travel and demons attach themselves if you let them. If you welcome, not saying the guy you're talking to or the female you're talking to necessarily has a demon or anything, but let's not act. Everyone has their demons, okay? And if you're banging somebody and you don't know even like what their last name is or their favorite color or even like literally where they grew up when they were like little, you're not gonna know if the demons that they have with them. You're not even gonna know if his family has a curse. And here you are just letting him just all into your shock, all into your spiritual greatness, and he's just gonna fuck that shit up. And God forbid if we all decide that he is an asshole and he decides not to text you back, not only will you have his energies all up and through you and you're gonna need a serious spiritual cleanse and it's gonna take time for you to get back to your natural state, you're also gonna like be latched to him. And you don't want that because that latchness is gonna fuck up your own drive. So me being celibate, I'm more creative, I'm more free willed, nothing affects me. No one else's mood affects me. I don't stare at my phone the whole day waiting for text messages and calls or anything like that. I'm in a really relaxed state. So that's pretty much why I chose to be celibate. And whether you choose to be celibate or not, that's absolutely, of course, up to you. But I at least encourage every female to have a great length of time in their lives where they just say, you know what, let me get my shit together, let me get myself right, and the next guy that comes along, he either has the package, or he doesn't. And that's just all that it has to be. It's not really like a big deal. And if you have that self control within yourself, then you're powerful. You're strong. You can get through anything. That's all it's about, is self control, balance. And that's all that we ever want. So I hope this video helped you guys make your decision to whether you want to be celibate or not. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Um, Feel free to subscribe, like, and share this video. I have so many more videos coming, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and God bless.